My people, greetings. So here at the beach, right? I get some products from a company called, a small business called Charlo Farm. Real interesting stuff. It is, well, one is a seasoning blend, a green seasoning blend, and the other is pimentos, right? But it's dried products, so you have to basically rehydrate them to use them. I saw a recipe online and I say, you know what, that might be something nice to try to see how these ingredients work. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up a whole fish there to deal with, right? So rock with me now, right? And we'll go back and deal with that fish too. Boom. Well, I think it kind of funny that the first thing I do when the task calls for fish is to head to a place called Chicken Kingdom. Despite the name, they have the fish thing going on. So I pull up by the savannah and I enter the kingdom. In no time flat, my boy was cleaning out a nice little salmon for the dog. This will work perfectly for the experiment, right? So with the salmon in the cut, time to head back to the lab. But before that, let me just make a quick pit stop here for a little some bandana and slight pepper business now, but if you know, you know. So after 2 it's slide, back inside to start dealing with these products that I mentioned earlier. Basically, it's dried pimento flakes and then there's a dried green seasoning blend. You just really add in water to them to rehydrate them, and then you use them just like you'd use the fresh thing. I would have liked some directions on the pack to say exactly how much liquid to use, or if to use hot water, cold water, them kind of things. But I ain't beat up. The ancestors had me. The ancestors tell me try a 1-to-1 mix for the green seasoning and see what go on there. So I do that. I use half cup of product to half cup of water. Mix that, put that one side to come in. So while that was going on, I put in the salmon, rest some slice on it and thing for maximum penetration, and then I rub it down with some olive oil to help this cowboy rub stick on it. And now I'm hoping that this rub will give the fish like a kind of earthy, smoky kind of flavor. Plus, I added some extra paprika and black pepper to it just to make it pop a little more for it to be bolder in the mix. So while that fish rock back marinating in them spices, I start on a sauce that's supposed to kind of double as a kind of glaze in the bacon. So the place to melt some butter with a little chili powder, a little ground pimento seed, add some ruku powder in there too, then some of this honey and herb spice rub that I have here. It have granulated sugar in it and granulated honey in there too. Plus add a little mustard to balance out the sweetness with a little bit of acidity now. And I decided to try rehydrating the pimento flakes in the sauce instead of adding water to it and then bringing it in. Add it directly to the sauce, so hoping that would add a little spice and complexity again. Right? The ancestors again guide me, tell me, how I feel, so I put what my heart feel now, that is what happened there. So by this time, the salmon nice and marinated. I sure you realize I don't deviated from recipes and thing a long time, right? I do my own thing here because a recipe is just a suggestion basically. So the original recipe said to put the fish on a rack to bake, and I didn't really dig that because you had to take out the fish too and base it, and I feeling like underneath when get that kind of love, so I put it on a baking tray because I prefer the bottom of the fish to bubble in all them nice sauces now. Put some of the sauce on the tray and then I base the top with some. Then boom, enter the green seasoning, done swole out in the water already. Smelling strong though, strong as ginger and bandania and them kind of things. I realized one time that I ain't not gonna use all this because that will overpower the fish. So I use it conservatively in the belly. Then for a little twist, I put in some 5-finger slices just to see if they will bring a little subtle tart layer underneath the acidity of the glaze now. Put all that to bake at 350 for 40 minutes in the toaster oven. And well, this is the result right here. A nice fleshy, moist honey mustard baked salmon. I drop that on top some cheesy mashed potatoes with some blanch, health and strength on the side. Now, don't study how a piece of the fish fall. It can hold on. It can hold on until the potatoes. A small thing. That's how flaky it was then. Anyway, here the verdict.
Alright, so first of all, let's start with fresh fish, which is a big bonus there because it really pulls in the flavors a lot easier. It's a nice cleaner taste. Fish cooked to perfection, nice and moist. You get enough penetration through the top layers, but you're not overpowering the taste of the fish, which is how I like fish. The seasoning, I wouldn't be able to guess is not fresh. I'm telling you straight up. The only thing is, I'd like to taste some of the seasoning, so I'm doing up in some of the sauce and the seasoning.
Hold on, let me fix that.
What is that with the sauce though? You're holding out on that, man.
Yeah, that sauce is different kind of sauce. I forget.
Yeah, we had to talk about the sauce.
That sauce. And the man was rehydrate. I totally forget to include some of the unbaked sauce to drizzle over the things then. But when we're saying pass here, right? So boom, sauce in the dance. All in all, I find the Charlo Farm products nice. They're nice, I like them. I mean, good flavor and thing. Actually strong flavors as well. The dehydration process where they extract water from it and amplify the flavors of the ingredients there. So essentially you will use less if you're using this product. Check how much of green season I make. I had a real plenty left over. I had a bottle that I could do an next fish and that all kind of thing, I'm sure. But also I think the thing for me is the shelf life on this is 2 years, right? So this is a great way to reduce waste due to like pimento spoiling in the fridge and that kind of scene. You know that scene, everybody know that scene. You buy some pimentos and you ain't use it out in time, pimento spoil in the fridge. And there's a better option than, at least for me, than freezing it, chopping it up and freezing it. You basically getting it back in a better form, I find, with the rehydration. Anyway, I go say that experiment was a success. That is how I feel about it. Them products, I think they were checking out. So I put the links in the description so you could follow them and see, on their socials and see where you could grab a pack. Right? Let me know what you think. Boom.